Good evening, everyone. Today we have Abhishek Tiwari with us, who got 99.7 percentile in CAT 2020, and will be joining IIM Bangalore in a couple of in a month's time. So welcome, Abhishek.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, so we'll be having a discussion with Abhishek regarding his CAT prep journey, his interview experience, and his strategy for various sections of CAT. How did he score 99.7? He will share his strategy, and the students can ask any specific query they have. So, Abhishek, before we start, congratulations on converting the top B school of India. How's
Thank
the
you, sir.
feeling after converting this college?
Sir, it's pretty surreal. I mean, I am extremely excited. Um, the result I was actually, hard to believe after you get the result, and mom is, you know, telling all the relatives and everything. So it's quite a jovial atmosphere.
Great. So we believe that the hard work has finally paid off, and now you are on the other side of the table, wherein you go to a
Yes, sir.
college and then guide the current aspirants. So this interview is done with the same pursuit. Fine. So Abhishek, tell us about your background, academic background, your work ex.
Sir, I am a mechanical engineer with a minor in computer science from IIT Guwahati. I graduated in 2020, and this was my first CAT attempt. I have been working since July 2020 as a data scientist at Head Digital Works.
Okay. So, Abhishek, tell us about your preparation strategy, the overall strategy, and your section-wise strategy, because the sectionals sometimes some people find LRDI to be very tough. So, specifically
Yeah.
LRDI, how did you ace that?
Sir, my strategy was 100% relying on mocks. So I gave around 75 mocks during the preparation phase, and I started actually pretty late, around mid-August to September. So since then, I gave 75 mocks, and my whole preparation has been, just giving the mocks after my job gets over at 6 p.m. and just analyzing those mocks. Sectionally, I think I struggled a lot with LRDI because of the uncertainty in the section.
Mhm.
Quant was always my forte, and VARC was also something I was extremely comfortable in most of the times. So for LRDI, I think there's nothing much that somebody can teach you in terms of logical reasoning. So again, getting exposed to different kinds of sets, um, you know, uh, analyzing each set very carefully after every mock. That was all I did for LRDI.
Okay, so when you say VARC was your forte, so how did you develop that? You had a interest from the childhood, or you kept on
Yeah, I
reading?
mean, I have not always been a reader per se, but
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't find the section particularly, challenging during my mocks. I was able to understand the passages, and I think parajumbles was something that I struggled with sometimes, but in general,
Mm-hmm.
it was a smooth flow for me. I was not a reader or, avid reader of newspapers per se.
Okay. So QA was your forte, your strength, and your
Yes, sir.
weakness was LRDI, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so fine. So you told us about your strategy to that you took the mocks as the benchmark and you improved
Yeah.
upon it through your efforts, right?
Yes,
Fine.
sir.
So tell us how did you manage because you are working in a full-time job. How did you manage your job with the CAT preparation?
Sir, I had my job from 9 o'clock in the morning to around 6 o'clock in the evenings,
Mm-hmm.
and the only time that I could, take out 3 hours, 2 hours later at a stretch to give these mocks was after 6 p.m. So I would generally give the mock from 7 o'clock in the evening to 9 o'clock, and
Mm-hmm.
afterwards I would stretch it late into the night, revising the mocks on weekdays.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you have to give a thumb rule to the aspirants, like for a 2 hour, like last year the CAT paper was 2 hours. So for a two
Hmm.
hour mock, how much time did you spend analyzing it? Was there some fixed hours you defined for it?
No, sir, there was nothing fixed as such. Quant
On
was
an
generally the
average?
section that I began. On an average, I would take around, I think, 2.5 hours for analyzing, and I think almost the entire time was devoted only for LRDI, getting
Okay.
studying the various sets.
Mm-hmm.
Quant was something that I finished in 15 minutes because I did not have a lot of questions that needed clarification. VARC was
Mm-hmm.
also something that I didn't really have to revise much, but I got done with it pretty quickly. And for
Hmm.
around 2 hours, I would just read up upon various sets, try to solve them myself, and then refer the solutions that they had given.
Okay, okay, okay. So there's a question from one of the students. What resources did you use for preparing?
Um, Resources, I think the only resources that I had were these test series from Time, IMS, and Career Launcher. So I had
Hmm.
all the three test series, and
Hmm.
I think I gave almost every single mock that these guys had to offer. So in total,
Okay.
75 mocks, no
Hmm.
books referred or no sectionals, no topic-wise test.
Okay. So coming to the final league, the GDPI preparation. So GD
Hmm.
definitely was not there last time because of COVID and all. So how did you prepare for the interviews?
Sir, I think for the interviews, the single biggest hurdle that I had was current affairs and general knowledge because I have been
Hmm.
extremely rusty in both these areas, and I never really had a inkling to take up current affairs in my free time. So from January, I think when the results were announced, I would spend around 3 to 4 hours each day brushing up upon the various happenings in the world. And I had joined Mindworkzz. So we used to have these knowledge sessions where the mentors would, walk us through the various happenings, teach us about the relevant general knowledge bites that were associated with these. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So which all calls did you have?
So I had calls from I am Bangalore, Calcutta, Indore, Shillong, and all the institutes from CAP.
So how was your experience in these B schools, the interview experience? And any
Uh,
question, any interesting question which came up based on your
uh,
background?
Sir, I think primarily all the interviews were focused upon data science that my work experience was in. So I think especially in Indore and Shillong, there was some sort of leaning towards current affairs and general knowledge. Shillong being, somewhat of a rapid fire sort of interview where the interviewer did not let me speak beyond 2 lines for any question that he asked.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Calcutta was, I had questions on maths. So they asked me to sketch a graph. And other than that, general about my work experience, my internships, PORs, projects. And my interview for the Bangalore interview was almost entirely on academics. Pertaining to my work experience in statistics and probability, machine learning algorithms, and my projects, internships, everything of that sort.
Okay, so which of these interviews you enjoyed a lot, and after coming out of the interview, you felt that I have cracked this, I should get in.
Um, Sir, I think the cap interviews were one of the easiest that I had faced. Uh,
Okay.
Mine were unusually long, like people were getting done with theirs in a short period of time, but mine interviews stretched a lot. And the
Hmm.
kind of questions that they were asking in general, they were all, nothing out of the blue or something that, really that those gotcha moments. So I did not
And
have any one of those.
the toughest interview, the toughest board which you faced.
Sir, ironically, the Bangalore interview,
Okay.
I honestly did not expect it to be a straight convert. I
Hmm.
was honestly expecting a wait list at that point of time. It was extremely grilling for me.
Okay. And how long did the interview last? I'm Bangalore.
Um, I think, sir, 15, 20 minutes.
Okay. So the average
But this was
interview at
actually,
all these
this
B
was
schools
unusually
was.
long. Again, I am Bangalore interviews were held quite short.
Okay. 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 Fine. So, coming to one important question which the students have, and
Hmm.
this is a common question across various B schools. So, you have to answer why MBA. There is a unique answer to everyone. What was your
Yes, sir.
answer to why MBA after engineering, after such a good job?
Sir, I working as a data scientist. My work at the moment is somewhat, relegated to the back end. So
Hmm.
I generally, when we have meetings, my manager is the one who drives all the decisions and gives all the suggestions, and he has generally my backup. All the
Hmm.
models that I've made, the visualizations that I've created. I'm the one who supports his decision making. So
Hmm.
I had an inclination for the client-facing roles. So I wanted to get into that position where I could, understand how the organization functions, and so I could, take all these decisions by myself.
Okay, great. So we'll take questions from the students. Before that, one last question. What will be your suggestion to the CAT 21 aspirants?
Sir, I would have some suggestions. The first one is to not get easily demotivated when you're giving mocks, because most of these mocks are set at a level that is higher than that of CAT. So there were times that when even I gave a mock and the percentile was not what I was expecting, and I used to, just feel disheartened and start questioning whether this thing was the right thing to do or not for me. So not getting disheartened and actually realizing that these mocks might be difficult is the first thing. The second thing is that in case you have a something that you are concerned about, you should just approach the mentors unhesitatingly. um, these are the people who have actually given these mocks so many times. They have written CAT so many times, so these are the ones who will be able to guide you in the best possible manner. And the third one is to just build that exam temperament. For me, in my slot, I found the VARC the most difficult section, and that was just the section that I had to begin with. So picking myself up during LRDI and Quant after such a strenuous first section, that was something that I developed only through all those mocks that I had given.
Great, great. So there's one question, if you remember, what was your score, raw score?
Sir, my raw score was 112 in slot
Okay,
2,
in slot
and the
two.
scale score was 118.
Okay, great. So the other questions which students are posting are generic in nature. So we'll answer that in the comment section. Okay, and so we thank you, Abhishek, for taking out time and joining us
Thank you,
and
sir.
guiding
It's
the
my pleasure.
aspirants. And as you know, we will be there with you throughout your B school journey, and you can reach out
Absolutely.
to us for any queries, any support you need.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The faculty team at Mindworkzz is from Top B School, so we have done that, gone through that journey, and we are with our students throughout. So let us know in
Absolutely,
case
sir.
you need any help, and we will definitely reach out to you in case the student need more mentorship. And
Yes, sir.
I hope this session is enlightening for all the students. So thank you, Abhishek. Thanks again,
Thank you, sir.
and all the best. Have a beautiful career and a wonderful journey at IIM Bangalore.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.